What's a simple thing someone can do to better their life? Compliment people behind their backs. It seriously reduces the drama you have to deal with in your day-to-day life. Especially do it to coworkers. I've made an effort in my life to always do this. If I'm talking about you and you aren't in the room, then it's always complimentary. I'm going to do this more often. I've never spoken about someone in a negative way behind their back, and always try to speak positively when people aren't present in a conversation. But it doesn't matter because I'm a cunt to their face. Sufficient sleep and hobbies. So just make sleep your hobby then. This is how my depression tricks me. SLPT, be depressed to get more sleep. And the best part is, you'll sleep so poorly you'll still be tired when you wake up. Foodies make eating their hobby. It's efficient to make your hobby one of life's basic needs. That's why my hobby is drinking. Show up on time. People feel that their time is respected if you do, and you keep adding to your accountability and credibility bank. The people that are late will never take this advice. In their mind, the process of leaving and going somewhere is more important than being on time. Took me 10 years studying someone to figure this out. It still mystifies me. Some things can't be helped, but I know someone who was recently 90 minutes late to a dinner they planned. How? I have co-worker who shows up 15 minutes late to appointment with specific times and people are waiting on her. She doesn't even call. I have to call her. No apologies. She literally doesn't give a duck about others' time. The habits that have made life less stressful for me sound boring and lame. Eat real food. Get sleep. Be on time. Look decent. Be polite. Do what you say you're going to do. But boy, do they make a difference. I spent my 20s and 30s fighting against these things, believing they'd make me boring. Well, they have, but I'm happier. Have achievable short-term goals, and reward yourself appropriately when you achieve them. Whenever I complete a task on my list, I allow myself 10 minutes on Reddit. Makes the day go faster. Funny, it is the exact reverse for me. I allow myself 10 minutes of work for every 8 hours of Reddit. Days won't go by fast though. Days drag and years fly by. This is so accurate it hurts. My short-term goal is to finish work, and my reward is a Big Mac meal with large Coke and fries. I work 5 days a week. You must be a lean fella. Drink more water. Or you might die. Open some blinds, my dude, and let some sunshine in your house in the mornings. It always made me happy. Scotland here. I've opened the blinds, but can you elaborate on this sunshine? Awaiting further instructions. Exercise. It really helps if you're dedicated and consistent with it. A weird way I convinced my lazy self to do this was by telling myself I will only work out for a few minutes or go for a short run. Once you begin, you most likely want to keep going. Similarly with work and procrastination, tell yourself you will only work for 5 minutes. You will find you will be working for much longer. I always use this threads to motivate myself. And then do nothing. Because most of the things people suggest are either not that simple after all, too vague, or already too obvious. Like, we all know sleep and exercise is good for you. If I'm not doing these things already, then there's a good chance there's a reason why that isn't just a simple fix. I work in the trades, never stretched, always stiff. A month ago, I started stretching in the morning and before going to bed, and it has made huge difference. Just last week I was able to touch my toes with straight legs for the first time in my life. Consciously try to make someone else's day better. It will almost always make you feel better too. I try to do one major act of kindness a week. Usually, I'll just mysteriously give people gift cards for coffee when I see they are having a bad day, but even just something small like complimenting someone makes a difference. Delve into your fantasies every once in a while. As people get older, they tend to lose a lot of that spirit which allows them to sit around thinking of amazing things. Picture some fun stuff. Picture some impossible things which, although they don't exist in the real world, do exist in your mind. Although, it's important to keep a firm perspective on the real world, let yourself daydream a little. Better yet, put it down on paper, write a little story, draw a picture. One of the best things about humans is their ability to be creative. I think it's important to never lose that creativity. You never know, you could be sitting on an imagination which is capable of creating best-selling novels or world-class paintings. Create a budget. There are so many free tools available online that it really is simple. Take a few minutes each day to monitor your spending/saving, and you'll thank yourself later. AskReddit. So many of my friends, late 20s, have no clue what is happening in their finances. They consider if they end the month within their bank account, so they didn't use credit, they were financially responsible. Which is the first step, but they don't seem to realize they could be doing more. When you start tracking your expenses, you realize where money is going, whether you like it going there, and you can start tracking and saving, and work towards bigger goals. Personally, I loved reading Your Money or Your Life. It's a little old. Last chapter of investment advice may not be as relevant, but a lot of the consciousness it brings to your spending is still applicable. You need to throw out all the garbage from your head, understand what makes you unhappy and try to change it. Yeah, but it's my head making me unhappy. Ducking head. Don't ignore their mental health. It is everything. Totally agree. Took me way too long to deal with some of my anxiety issues. Now I look back on all that time I was putting off dealing with it, and see it as such a waste. Try at least one new thing every week. It's all fun and games until week 362 when you get pegged. But I already get pegged. Leave the house 10 to 20 minutes earlier than originally planned. Why? I find leaving at the right time works very well for me. This only works if you plan your trips appropriately, are obscenely lucky with transit, or don't give a shit if you're late. Ideally, it's the first one, which is what I aim for. I have a 4-minute walk to work. It's glorious. Stop drinking. Tomorrow is my 4-month sober date, and my life has been on an upward trajectory since then. Meditate. Do not expect to levitate and be able to resist fire after it. It really helps you to calm down. You're not really selling it. Levitating and resisting fire are surefire ways to get people to meditate.